There was the dogs, if you couldn't hear that. Okay, we are live in theory. Chuck's off and about today, doing Chuck things. Tim should be around, but I don't think he's on. We'll see. I assume that I have video and sound. We'll see how it all pans out. Doing a lot of digital backup today. Been a very frustrating day. Trying to get things to work. Tim, are you with me? Anybody? Are we live? Has it started streaming? Let's see. Yes, I believe. Okay, good, DM. Thank you. Can you hear me? I take it. I think Tim might have wandered back. Okay, good deal. Then I will quit bugging Tim and let him do whatever it is he's doing. I need to get you a bunch of chapters for the CKG. That is on tomorrow's list. We gotta get that guy rolling. Been hammering away on 𝚃𝚘𝚘𝚕𝚔 quite a bit. Good deal. I'm gonna try to get the next like 5 or 6 to you. Maybe more. We'll see. I've got a smidge more work on 𝚃𝚘𝚘𝚕𝚔 to do. And then that sucker's, we're down to just shipping. So with a little bit of luck. Sweet. Jason's here. What is that song from My Fair Lady? With a little bit of luck. With a little bit of luck. With a little bit of bloom and luck. It's about not working, as it is. Yeah, it won't die, DM. It won't die. The shipment comes in tomorrow, but we had to wrap up with a poster, the character reference sheet, and something else. I can't remember it, but okay. So Tim is watching a commercial at the moment. So I prefer luck to be a lady tonight from Guys and Dolls. I don't know if I've ever seen that. The My Fair Lady bit is, and you probably know it, Jason. You're quite musically inclined, but he, it's the lady, whatever her name is. Her father comes out of a doorway, of a bar, at a pub, whatever, and starts singing. And his whole purpose in life is to avoid work. It's a good song. It's a hilarious song filled with hijinks. Yeah, Tim's on his own account, so he's watching commercials. He's slogging it through with the rest of us. How's it going, Kadora? Yeah, today's been a lot of frustrating digital work. How's it going, Green Lumpton? Trying to get pictures backed up off the iPhone. Tons of TLG stuff on there and personal stuff from a variety of holidays, and then trying to track down someone, which we're going to get into here in a little bit. And then, what the hell else was I doing? Setting up the new HSA account, backing up some 𝚃𝚘𝚘𝚕𝚔 files. It's been I feel like I'm getting stuff. I'm not getting anything done, but I know I am one of those days. You should see Guys and Dolls, Frank Thompson and Marlon Brando in the movie, which is a good adaptation. That's cool. I'll check it out. I'm always wandering around looking for new stuff. Anything to entertain my peepers. Not my mind, necessarily, just my peepers. So really, it just has to be something with pretty colors flying in front of it. Still really super enjoying the X-Files. TLG should start a huge thank you petition for David Duchovny and what's Scully's name? What the hell? Whatever her name is. Jesus Christ. Gillian Anderson. Good God, yes, thank you. I've watched 400 interviews with those two idiots. And then the X-Files. We should do just a huge thank you to those two for making some iconic characters believable, fun, and this whole kind of mystery, anti-government, question everything around you, tied in with this very subtle romance. I mean, it's very subtle. I'm on season 5. I can't really remember how it all plays out, but thanks for the sub, Willie. Much appreciated. Yeah, it's just good stuff. X-Files is probably in my top 5 television shows, right up there with Justified and The Walking Dead, certain seasons. Probably seasons 1 through 4, maybe 1 through 5. But we are here on someday, 12/8. I feel like this is a date that I should be aware of about something. We are here on 12/8/2020. Slowly winding the year out for Ask Me Anything, and I am Stephan Chenault, CEO and General Manager of Troll Lord Games. So fire your questions if you have any. About anything you haven't even started, and it's turned into a MSD3K show dudes quiz. I know, man, we're like 3 minutes into it. I saw that Vic Danger. I didn't actually read the article, but I saw that they had some kind of extraterrestrials in a bunker or something. I don't know. I saw the headline. Didn't read the article. I will get to it at some point this evening. But we'll see. Yeah, you know, TV, movies. These are huge. Video games, huge part of our lives these days, isn't it? I was watching a little bit of The Unforgiven, and I love the opening sequence to that, and I believe the piece of music is called Claudia's Theme, and it's this really kind of sad, maybe sad's not the word, just really, really low-key piece of music that kind of cues you into his house on the prairie, and he's in the photo, of course, he's digging a grave for his wife, and there's just a tree in the house and a little pig farm. And it's when I think about those who came before us and kind of broke this country and developed it for whatever good or ill, however you want to look at it, and how hard they worked and how impossibly difficult it was sometimes for them compared to us today. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I think I read yesterday that 99% of people that are living below the poverty level in the United States all have refrigerators. When back in the 1870s, no one had a refrigerator. No one even had electricity. I'm not really sure when electricity became part of the household thing. I think it was the 1890s, but yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. So yeah, TV is a huge part of our lives. How's it going, Retro Gamer? They actually gigantic blogs device. Yes, that is true. They did. My grandfather worked at an ice house, but that comes later. Now, if you're out in Kansas in 1872, you didn't have an ice house. Now, I do remember a friend of mine. Her grandfather was born in like 1908 or something like that, and he was telling me a story. He grew up in, I can't remember, one of the Dakotas, somewhere up north, Midwest, whatever that is. And he was telling me a story about how in their neighborhood, and it was kind of a small cluster of farms, they would listen to the radio. They could listen to the radio once a week. This would be the 1920s or something. And everybody around would gather at the one neighbor who had an actual radio. Of course, they had no electricity. None of them did. But what someone had done is they had hooked up a bicycle to a generator battery thing. I'm not really sure what. So that the kids, the boys, had to take turns. They had to get on the bicycle and pedal real fast to charge the generator to play the radio, so that everybody would gather in the house and listen to this radio while the kids were outside, the boys were outside pedaling the bicycles. And I remember when he was telling me this story, I laughed. I mean, I thought it was funny. I could just envision these kids out there, doing on the bicycle to get the radio. And he looked at me with not a smile on his face, and he said, "That wasn't funny. We didn't get to listen to the radio." So it was this sudden epiphany for me that, wow, the world is so dramatically different. And of course, that was 1995, 94, even before the internet was a huge thing. So it's very interesting. Thank you, Grape Ape. My wife did that. She always cuts my hair. You had to drink your Dr. Pepper warm. Yeah, that wouldn't be happening. I know they do it in Europe. They still drink sodas. They don't. You have to ask for ice, or it's just going to be a warm soda. But I think the original Coke was warm. I think. But I can't remember that. There's a great scene in The Stand where after the power has all gone dead, when two of the characters meet for the first time, one of them, a retired college professor named Glenn, has cooled his beer by anchoring a six-pack in a running stream. Yeah, some of that water is really, really cold. I saw some stupid meme the other day, or GIF, I don't know what the hell they are. And a guy opened his door, clearly somewhere up in Canada or New England, and there's snowpack 5 feet from up on his door, and he just stuck his beers in it and closed the door. It's kind of cool. The original Coke was warm, but it also had cocaine in it, so no one cared. Yeah, right. The taste was the least thing that they were concerned about those days. They were all running around addled on Coke. There you go. But now, we just take all this stuff for granted. And it's not even that we take it for granted. It's not that we don't have our own pressures and our own problems and all kinds of other stuff that, we got to deal with that they certainly didn't have to deal with. But, so it's all a give and take or what have you. But certainly our comfort level is much greater than it was in those days. I say that. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it's what you get used to. It's what you like, and that's where you are comfortable. Who knows? Who can say? But at any rate, so what are we doing around here? I'm going to just start spouting off until anyone has any questions. Certainly ask questions about Kickstarters, projects we're working on, what's going on in the dens, industry stuff. Though honestly, for the last few weeks, I've been my head has been in the sand trying to get some things done, so I haven't really paid much attention to whatever latest weird trend is happening in the gaming universe. I'm kind of trying to ignore that and get on with my own stuff. The Troll Lord world, as you will. But I think up front and center is two projects, the NPC Almanac and Gaxamore. The Lost City of Gaxamore is on trucks. We're waiting for it to arrive. It was supposed to arrive today, but I didn't get a call, so it's probably arrived at the UPS forwarding center or whatever the hell that's called, and they'll make a scheduled delivery tomorrow. It's a big one. It's going to be 4 pallets stacked to the gills, and it's going to require all of us down there moving lots and lots and lots of boxes. Yes, Grape Ape. That's the one with the new map. We've got Weapons of Gaxamore, the Lost Valley, the character reference sheet, the poster, there's something else in there. All kind of rumbling in at the same time. So in the next 48 hours, that's going to be, we're just going to get covered in all that crap. And I really do hope to start shipping by Thursday. It'll probably be a trickle for the first on Thursday, and then I'm hoping on Friday to get a good wage out. And then by next week, I've already alerted everybody's no remote working on Monday. I want this stuff gone and out. Backers have been waiting, and we want to get it up for sale for Christmas if we possibly can. So we'll see how that all pans out. David McCullough recently wrote a book on the settling of the Northwest Territories of Ohio. Oh, no, that would be very interesting. I know almost next to nothing about that, and you're talking 1810s, 1820s when that was happening. That's kind of cool. I'll have to check that out. I read all kinds of frontier histories, Native Americans, settlers, and mountain men, stuff like that. I love that stuff. But there's so little of it on that section of the country that's kind of, Kentucky and Ohio and Illinois, Indiana. It usually picks up on the other side of the river. Did you see the news about the ship that dumped all those shipping containers? I saw that. It was horrible. And like 180 of them have some kind of dangerous chemicals or some such business in it. It's just going to be a gigantic mess. This is yet another reason we should not be offshoring stuff. Stuff should just be made on whatever continent that you're living on. Just make crap for your own continent, and then we'll be dumping it all over the place. But there you go. All right, hold on. Tim had a question. Can't you blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, Tim's not able to watch the stream for some strange reason. I have no idea. It's all good. Alright. I think Tim's going to be out for the stream. Chuck's off doing Chuck stuff, so there you go. I don't know what the hell I just did. Good God. Always moving crap around. So yeah, so we're really hoping to hit Gax more pretty heavily and get that sucker out. Several hundred a day out on Monday so that we have it all shipped next week and it's gone. And that's ideally what's going to happen. I think it's possible. It just depends on how focused we get. And how many hands on deck I can get. And then on top of that, we've got the NPC Almanac that Davis and I are finally getting a handle on what needs to be done. So I'm giving him instruction. He works very odd hours, so I give him instructions in the evening. This is, let's get this done, this done. And he's been hammering that pretty quickly. We've got another chunk come out tomorrow, starting in on the villains. I think he's got to do 12 villains, 12 monster encounters, and 12 adventuring parties, and then that whole kind of stretch rewards section is done and closed, and then we can, by that time, we'll have even a better handle on all of that mess. So, and I'm trying to do daily or by every 2 or 3 days a new file in OBS so that you can download it and have this content to play immediately, and you don't have to wait for the book. So that's what we are angling for. What are you buying the wife and kids for Christmas, Steve? We won't tell. They get nothing. Nothing from me. I don't know what I'm getting my wife. I usually try to find something very personal, but neither of us get out much. We just come home and crash. And stare at the wall or watch the X-Files. We're watching some Australian comedy right now. The other Best of Both Worlds, I think. It's pretty good. Check it out. And the kids, they're getting books. I always get my kids books for Christmas. They're getting books. So, though I think there might be a whole bunch of computer parts for my youngest. We don't buy them computers here. We buy them the parts, and they have to assemble them. So they've gotten quite skilled at computer manufacturing. All right. So that's what's coming on. That's what's coming down in his stocking is a bunch of pieces. How many giant scores would you put up against? How many giant score would you orcs? I guess. Would you put up against 5 4th? Man, I can't comprehend you. 5 4th level characters. Okay. I'm not sure what score you mean. How many giants? Giant what? A Green Lantern. Okay, yeah, everybody gets a Gaxamar. That's what they're getting. Alright. So I'll have to answer your question after you give me an idea. A giant score, giant core, giant orcs? Could be orcs, don't know. There you go. And why did Jason just shout elf in the stream? I have no idea what's going on. The new world confuses me. But there you go. Scorpions. Oh, yeah, maybe it's the scorpions. Giant scorpions. Man, the giant scorpions, I don't know if they're that tough. Are they? I can't honestly remember. It's a code to bring up the link to Night Shift, Steve. Is that what that is? Oh, okay. Let's see. There are 4 hit dice, if I remember. Oh, is this one of the monsters we accidentally cut out of this book? I think it is one of the monsters we cut out of this book. That don't sound right. Sounds about typical. It is. I thought we did. Yeah, we cut this one out. Thank you, Bloodwild, for the emotes. Very much appreciated. I don't know. I'd have to look at I think it's a 4 hit dice or a 5 hit dice, and they've got a poison that I want to say might be a death poison. I can't remember. But 5 4th level characters is pretty powerful. The mages and the clerics priests aren't going to have their good spells yet, so that comes in at 3rd level or so. But they're still going to be pretty tough. I don't know, just if I'm remembering correctly, 4 or 5 hit dice, I would probably have between 3 and 6, depending on armor classes, magic, and all of that mess. Because scorpions, I think, are pretty tough. And the problem with all of those poisons and the attack of the undead is it causes so much catastrophic damage. Your character's going to be stunned. killed or drained a level or whatever it is. That doing too many of them is, you're asking for a bloodbath unless the players are rolling really well. Otherwise, it's not going to go well. So at any rate, NPC Almanac, Gaxmore, these are the two next, and I'm hoping to have these kind of really well in hand very, very, very soon. Of course, Gaxmore is well in hand. It's all but finished, and just needs shipped at this point. I think we need to lock down the addresses and backer kit and roll that stuff out. But beyond that, we're good to go. How's it going, Bloodwild? Wait, you just gave us the emotes or whatever the hell that is. I don't know what this stuff is. It's crazy. It's all crazy to me. One of these days I'm gonna sit down and study it. But that day is not this day. So, what else are we doing around here? Shipments in, shipments out. That's it. I mean, we're just really high focused on these, on the NPC Almanac and this other deal, trying to get these things done. The Monsters and Treasures of Air for 5th edition is at the editors, so that's really good. Peter Bradley and I are still toying with layouts for the player's handbook, so that's good. Got a couple of new pieces of art in, had to reject a few. That's not typical for me, but it's going to be typical for this version of the PH because I want it to look a very specific way. Yeah, I don't know. All kinds of stuff going on. Difficult for me to remember. So I'm gonna do a shout out here with this very strange request. I was kind of hoping to wait till we had normally we have 30 or 40 people in here, but not sure where we are at the moment. It doesn't seem to be. It's too busy in the holidays. But so as some of you. I see. What else is the new in the new Gaxmore? Did all the encounters get redone or some completely new ones added? None of the encounters were redone, but a whole bunch were added. We had a bunch of celebrity guests join in, and I think it was 13 or 14 were added, and about another 20 NPCs were added. And then we rolled in Luke's Undercaverns of Gaxmore into it. Yeah. So the whole project is much larger. And just a ton of stuff. Yes, it is 5e. We will eventually get around to doing a CNC version. Now, once this one's cleared the deck, and then it'll be the same map that Elisa's done for the 5e version and all that stuff. So it's a lot of new stuff has been added to it, but the core of what the Lost City of Gaxmore is has stayed the same. I didn't want to wreck that. I didn't want to break that all apart or change that a whole lot. It's just it's canon or whatever you want to call it at this point. Lots of new material. Much of it very, very cool. I mean, a lot of it's very interesting looking at designers and writers from seeing what they produce when you just kind of give them an open book. I just need an encounter in a lost city, and then you get all kinds of cool, just interesting stuff into it. And hopefully we manage to get all the backer stuff in there. It's kind of it gets insane after a while, but hopefully that all worked out. So. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned here on the stream, and I think I've mentioned it a few times on the GMTT, that I got into this old black trunk of mine that was filled with letters and pictures, all kinds of stuff. It's very interesting. But out of that were some things that were in there that were not mine, and it took me a little while to kind of piece together whose they were. I have slowly been getting those to the proper owners, and I'm down to one item. This is a journal here that was written by a very young lady back in the 1970s. It's mostly dedicated to her horse. She was probably 15 or 13 or something. Horse's name is Cyclone, I think. Yes, Cyclone. Just really cool stuff that this young lady wrote. So this is long, long ago, 40 years or 50 years ago or whatever it was, probably over 50. Now, it took her name is in the book, but it took me quite a while to remember who this young lady was. And we were in the SCA together. They lived in Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. I lived in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I was going to school. She's a good 15, 18 years older than me, something like that. 13 years, I don't know, whatever. And her and her mother were in the SCA. I met them, and then we were all in the Shire of the Small Gray Bear, I think. I can't remember what Arkansas's Shire is called in the SCA. But I met her that way. Now, we did a lot of SCA stuff together and blah, blah, blah. Somehow her childhood journal ended up in my possession. And I think what happened is we were at a meeting, and after Betty and her mother left, they left this journal, and another woman, Arlene, gave me the journal to give to them later because I went to Walnut Ridge all the time. And it just never happened. And there it just went from spot to spot. Astoundingly, it has survived all these years. It took a little bit of tracking to get her down, to find her. She's had a rough life, I think, and she's down in Pensacola, Florida now. From what I gather, there's an arrest record on her. Got herself in a little bit of trouble, but I think I've called the phone number a couple of times. There's no answer to it. I just think she's got a hard life. But if anyone's in Pensacola, Florida, and can run over to someone's house for me, I would sure appreciate it. I think I've got like 3 addresses for her. I'm reluctant to mail it just in case these are old addresses that she's got. So if anyone is down there in Pensacola, Florida, or if you know a Betty Christine Lunsford down there, let me know. I don't know that she will want this back, but I suspect she would. And there's a very nice ode to her grandfather in there. It's just a book of poetry, book of just kind of cool stuff. I suspect what's going to happen is Tim and I are going to jump in the car. He loves to travel. We're going to jump in the car and just drive down to Pensacola in the next month or so, and see if we can't find this individual and return her journal to her. I just feel as if that's what should happen. But if any of you all are in Pensacola, Florida, let me know. Give me a shout out, and we will see what we can't do about getting this journal returned to this young lady. Did manage to find a phone number, did manage to find an address, though I've had no luck beyond that. No one's answering the phone, so God knows what it is. While you're at it, why don't you drive up to Pittsburgh? It's only about 13 hours. Yeah, there you go. We'll get down to Pensacola. We'll take a left. We'll come up to Pittsburgh. Be good to go. Are you still locked down in Pennsylvania? I've quit following much of that. I don't know who's locked down and who's not locked down, so I'm not sure what we're doing all over the place. I know California is all over, and Connecticut? I can't remember. Some other state I heard the other day. But I don't want to get to Pennsylvania and have to quarantine for 14 days. That would say. Yeah, well, at least you're not quarantined. Right. I think everywhere is a hot zone. I don't know anything about any of this stuff, and I don't pretend to. But I did read an article where Florida has required the testing to mark a PRC, a PLC, a P something C, I don't know, because a lot of these people who are being diagnosed with COVID actually only have trace amounts of it, and it's not even enough to spread it. So there's some kind of, my wife explained it to me, but I can't remember what it was. They're asking people to quarantine, but there's no enforcement. There you go. Do you happen to remember her SCA name? If she's still involved, she might be located that way. Florida's a kingdom of... I that's funny, M5, because when I first started looking for her, I looked for her in the Shire of the Small Gray Bear, but I did not look for her after I've kind of found where she is in Florida. I'll get on and see if I do not remember her SCA name. I cannot... You know what? There's a little piece of paper here. No. Yeah. So this is where it all happened. This is a little map to Ariana's feast. Now I guess Ariana is a young lady named Arlene Dormio who was in the SCA as well, and she had a feast at her house, and we went to that house and had the feast there. And I suspect that's where I ended up with the book, because this map to Arlene / Ariana's house was in the journal. So that's a good idea, Bloodwall. I'll do that. I'll actually get on because she could very well be. Her mother died 4 or 5 years ago. She's living alone there. Like I said, she's had a little bit of trouble with the law and whatnot, which is, shit happens. I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to judge people or whatever rolls down the pipe. Shit just rolls down the pipe sometimes, and it gets away from you. But she could very well still be in the SCA. And I just feel like it just, I get rid of stuff all the time, but I get rid of my stuff. I don't really like get rid of other people's stuff. Well, my wife's stuff, I kind of get rid of some of it. But this just feels like it is something that would be important to someone who, I don't know, just feels like it should, and it feels like it should go back to her. So my guess is if the SCA doesn't work or this phone number doesn't work, Tim and I are going to hit the road. We're going to head south. We've done far crazier things in the past. We're probably way overdue for a ridiculous drive cross country, so we'll just use this quest. And see, this just even brings here's a great adventure for your Castles and Crusades or Amazing Adventures game. You find this item you find a treasure you have to get back to somebody. Don't keep it. You don't enhance your own wealth or power or abilities. You've got to get this treasure back to somebody for whatever gajillions of reasons. That's sort of a take on what I do at conventions. I'll frequently have them start deep in the woods. They've already got the treasure from the monsters. Now they have to get back. So it becomes this running kind of battle to get whatever crap they found back to civilization without dying. Makes for a fun little jib-jab to the left and right. But yeah, that's a great idea. So I'm going to actually, before I forget, SCA... 𝚃𝚘𝚕𝚕, is that what it is? There we go. Now, is it broken up, do you know? I'll poke around. That would be cool if she was still involved. It's a long time ago, though. But you never know. I mean, people love that. The SCA is a very interesting... there we go. The SCA is a very, very interesting organization. I was in it for several years. I can't remember much about... I can't even remember my name. Damn it. Reynard? Maybe. Nice gesture, Steve. I wish you good luck. Yeah, hope. Thanks, Willie. It's just one of those things. I feel like... I don't know. Maybe it'll make things better. Next week, the adventures of the trolls. Yeah, that'll be something we keep out of the press. Actually, Tim and I are so old anymore. We just don't do much. Sit around and watch things burn is what we mostly do. So I'm going to have to remember if we ever meet in person to slip you something personal of mine so I can expect a troll. Yeah, there you go. Just leave stuff in the booth and I'll be driving all over the country. Who's this? It's weird. Some of this stuff that I found was weird. I found some jewelry. It wasn't expensive jewelry, but some jewelry that my ex-wife had. And I have no idea why it ended up here, and a whole bunch of photographs of her in high school and whatnot. So it took me forever to find her, because she's moved out west, and we talked very briefly, and we parted very kindly, but got all that back to her. It's a couple of odd items, and it's just weird how over time you just end up with things. People leave things, you don't know what to do with them, and there's just stuff, and you're looking at it and going, well, this isn't mine, but I don't know. It's a weird world. 3 C's. I gave a guy who owns a property where Pinzac is. Oh, very cool. That's that big, huge fight, right? Yeah. 3 C's. What if the Philosopher Journal was the event that sent her down there? It's funny, Big Danger, because that's exactly what I was thinking when I finally figured out who she was, and I did so with the help of Todd Gray. He remembered. She has a mug shot, and when I sent that to him, he said, "Yep, that's her." Because we used to hang out quite a bit. She and her mom ran a donut shop, and you never know what triggers these things. And apparently, according to this journal, I don't want to expose too much of her life, but it's life. Her father ran out on her when she was 6, left her and her mother, and she was raised by her grandfather, I assume, here in Arkansas. And it's just, you never know what, maybe this journal was that thing that, kind of helped. You don't know. You never know what's going on. So Um, it's just good. It's good karma. It's the right thing to do. It's not my journal. I shouldn't be burning it. So, well, that big danger. That's exactly one of the thoughts I had. I'm all the way on the other side of the country, but my friend goes every year. if he drives through Little Rock, give me a shout, blood while I can toss it in his car. I really want to figure out. I mean, I'm probably going to end up sending some letters if I don't get I'm going to call after 5 this evening and see how it turns out. But I'll send some letters to these. There's 3 addresses that we're pretty sure she's at one of them. And Tim was helping me. Tim and I once, actually, way before TLG, we were going to open up a detective agency. That was our thing. But Kathy talked us out of it. So, I come up to Canada to cool your beers, Dr. Ferguson. There you go. I might bring some jewelry, remembering the horse and looking at what she has written. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I mean, there's pictures of this horse in the front and in the back, and of her grandfather sitting next to her. And they're these old, June of 1972. She's got to be, I don't know, 18 or 19 or I don't know. It's just cool. It's just cool. I don't know how I am about them all. I don't. A bunch of crap I wrote when I was a kid, but I like reading. It's me. It's who I was, a long time ago, even if it's not as, whatever, together or cool or whatever. It's good stuff. So we'll see. So, again, if any of you guys are down in Pensacola, give me a shout. Okay. I might have a little job for you. But go hire a private detective down there. That's interesting. Well, maybe not. She probably wouldn't appreciate a private detective sneaking around her house or wherever she is. So. And it's the Christmas season, right? What better time to receive a journal from your past? All good stuff. But that aside, so I got the Facebook page open for the SCA in Florida. I'll send these guys a message, see if she's still involved. Poke through photos. That's funny. The SCA is a really cool thing. I was pretty big into it for a while there. I'm looking at these photos, vainly hoping her smiling face is going to pop out, but I do not see her. Always hard to tell, though. I don't know. The essay is funny. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, the Society of Creative Anachronism is a society which recreates the medieval period, and they've divided Canada and the United States, the United Kingdom, and other countries up into kingdoms, shires, baronies, blah, blah, blah. And you dress the part. They have feasts and stuff like that. You dress the part and all that kind of stuff. I cannot remember my character's name. Reynard. I think it was Reynard. That doesn't sound right. Reynard something. I can't remember. It's okay, Steve, if you multi-classed in a few levels of Rogue years ago and are now finding your stash in yeah. Maybe that's what it is. I was a kleptomaniac in the old days, just stealing everybody's stuff. You never know. You never know. It's really weird how I ended up with this, though. It's just very odd. I don't know. I vaguely remember Arlene giving it to me, but I don't know if I fabricated that memory to figure out how I ended up with it, but I have no idea. I mean, it wouldn't be anything that I would want to borrow. It's a child's poetry. Why would I want to borrow it? I suspect she had it at Arlene's house, if that's where this happened, just showing her pictures of the horse. I have no idea. I, on the other hand, was a member of the SCA's nemesis group, Nero. I played an earth clearing. Oh, very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I can't remember. I never got anywhere. I was only in there a couple of years, and I was, half-hearted at best. And some of these people, they take it very, very seriously. And because I couldn't take it as seriously, I started backing out because I didn't want to ruin anybody's fun. It's sort of like, it's one of the reasons that I so very, very rarely will say bad things about movies and TV shows. Sometimes I do, but I try not to because I don't want to spoil anybody's fun. So I kind of could tell that all I'm doing is ruining people's fun. I'm strolling through these pictures, still kind of hoping. Oh wow, these pictures are from 2015. Good God, time's just flying. Very interesting. The never ending. Of course, she could still be in it, I suppose. Let's see. Oops, didn't realize Pensacoli's on the Panhandle, so it's in the kingdom of... Oh, okay. Shire of Arnell. All right, so let me back that up, because I will forget all of this. I am an idiot. Is Arkansas in Meridia's? I think Arkansas might be in Meridia's. See if they got a Facebook page. I do not see it. Shire Phoenix Glade. Alright, let's do this. Delete. Alright, there we go. Shire of Arnell. Alright, I'll check it out. And their website's updated from 2020, so that's a good sign. Oh, that's a very good sign. The local branch was shockingly called Pittsburgh Role-Playing Quiz. My aunt just finished watching a 24-hour lecture series about the Black Death. You can get... Yeah, there's probably a whole lot of the Middle Ages that weren't nearly as cool as they seem like they are from our air-conditioned homes here in 2020. I've been doing SCA events since 1999. Oh, that's very cool, Bloodwalk. Calentier. Okay, yeah, that's right. Calentier. I see Arkansas. I think Little Rock, where I live now, is the Shire of the Small Great Bear, but where I was going to school in Jonesboro didn't have a Shire. It wasn't part of it, so we were trying to actually form one, if I remember correctly. There's about 5 of us. Arthur, Arlene, man, I can't believe I remember these people. And, of course, Velda and Christine, Betty, and myself. Mac tried to join, but he wanted to be a hobbit, and they threw him out. But there you go. That's very cool. I'll see if I can't. Here's the Chatelaine. I'll contact them, see if they can't help me. Arkansas is part of the Kingdom of Glian Abon. I have no idea how to say that. There you go. Yeah, that I don't remember. I can't remember much of it. I do remember Shire of Small Gray Bear. I remember we went to most of the events we went to were down here in Little Rock. Very cool. There was a big lodge that they would always rent, and it was the lodge itself looks kind of medieval, so it was kind of cool. I always enjoyed going to them. Both entertaining, strange, and fun people, which is about the same mixed bag you get, and the same mixed bag you get anywhere you're going. Hold on, this is a wife. Hey, baby, I'm streaming.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's no firewood out here.
Okay. I'm not. Hold on, 30 seconds. All right. So there you go. I'm not sure. She called and said there's firewood out here. I'm not sure where she is. So I'm not sure where the firewood is. And we're overdue. We're down to our last 10 sticks. So, and we try not to actually run the heater much. No one in the family likes it, so we try to do the fireplace as much as we can. And there you go. All right, very cool. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully something comes up, and we can get this journal back to her. But at any rate, back to Troller Games. What the hell else are we doing? So we're sliding into Christmas, and it's getting bumpy. Gaxmore and the NPC Almanac, and then after that, it's really all eyes on the Castle Keeper's Guide and the Player's Handbook, which we should be wrapping up relatively quickly. Calentier ends at Missouri border except for Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's right, Big Danger. Oh, cut some trees down. I gotta do some Twitch. Well, she did grow up in Arkansas and on a farm, so she's pretty good. Steven uses the default ringtone on his phone. I bet everyone had that on their bingo card. Yes. Yeah, I don't change anything on these things. And here's see how many apps I have on my phone? I've got, I think, there's a little folder at the bottom, but that's really got, the only app is Kickstarter, Ecwid, and YouTube. and Pinterest. And that's about it. Everything else, there's no more apps on there. Everything else is what comes with the phone. Got no time for it. Got no time for the phone. Oh, but I did have that plugged up for a reason. Trying to get those photos off there. Right after I shared that link, Night Shift got 2 5-star ratings on Drive-Thru RPG. So if there's something here, oh, very cool. Yeah, check out Night Shift if you haven't. Jason's Vase stuff. Of course, Jason's been working for TLG for forever. Amazing Adventures, CKG, and he's my go-to guy for all RPG stuff. So definitely check out Night Shift if you have not. I'm in Springfield, Missouri, in SCA for many years. Oh, it's very cool. Yeah, I loved it. I don't know why I never went back to it. I did too. I joined the Army. I went to the... Did I? I can't remember anything. I went to college. The Gulf War broke out and I joined the Army. I think, because I remember being vaguely involved with the SCA, and I know I did. I went to some SCA events when I was in Hawaii. That's where I was stationed. There was a war going on, so the Army sent me to Hawaii. There you go. What can you do? And I spent my years, but I do remember going to some of the SCA events there in Hawaii. Man, it's been too many. It's been a few turns in the road, as they are wont to say. At any rate, that's about all we got, I think. We'll track this young lady down, well, this older lady down now, and get this journal to her and keep plunging away on all these products. Next year, in February or March, we're going to be doing our big Kickstarter for the Robert E. Howard set, 4 volumes, slipcase, full color art history of all of the collected works of Robert E. Howard. Michael Tierney is working on that, so look for that in the near future. And as that is coming together and rolling out, we're going to be hammering away on the Planescapes. That's what I hope. That's where I hope we are. It's awesome. I'm in the Kingdom of the West, nearly on the border of the Antir West. Antir was in fun. War is fun. We are hoping to build some trebuchets. Oh, that's very cool. Very, very cool. Trebuchets are just cool. Thank you, M5. There you go. The Army of the Society of Creative Explosions. We've only been doing that. Didn't get to work on that. Yeah, we got some projects. Coming down the pipe, Jason. I haven't even told you about, but they're there. You're not gonna like it, but yeah, absolutely. So as we wind up, we'll be doing Jim's Tricks of the Trade on Thursday at 4. And then we've got DM Samuel running live CNC at Wednesday. I believe that's 7 Central Standard Time. Is that right, Grape Ape DM? I think that's when that is. And then we'll be back again next week for Ask Me Anything. I'm really not sure what the whole holiday schedule is going to bring. I'm not sure when Christmas is or any of that stuff. We'll certainly not have it. Oh, yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 6 Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. And that'll get, you can see some CNC in action. And I believe they do a lot of Aird talking about Aird afterwards, so definitely check out DM Samuel's game tomorrow. The works project for TLG Our World is better than the writing Expedia.com, guys. Well, there you go. You say that now. All right, everybody. I got to figure out what's going on with this firewood. And we will see you again, hopefully tomorrow night, joining DM. And if not, we'll see you on Thursday. And blah, blah, blah. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. And we'll see you soon.